So we will continue our discussion on previous year questions. Let me share the screen and the question, and then we can go with the further discussion. So as you can see here, the question is compare and contrast the contribution of Marx and Weber on social stratification in capitalist society. So it's a very common general question, very much expected also. So here you will be talking about social stratification first, and then you will talk about Marx contribution, and that's mainly in the economic basis, right? Economic infrastructure and the class dimension. So how he understand class stratification in capitalist society we'll discuss, and the types of class also, and then Weber's contribution, and you will talk about the three dimension, right? The multi-dimensional pattern of stratification, class, status, party, and then you compare both the perspective, compare and contrast, talk about the similarities and differences, right? And then conclude with a contemporary relevance. And in fact, in this it is very evident and very clear. Weber's is a multi-dimensional understanding. Weber's is more relevant, right? Even in terms of class also, Weber is extensively talking about middle class, but Marx predicted middle class will fade out, but that never happened. So even in terms of class itself, you speak, Weber is more relevant. Other dimension also, Weber is giving importance. So definitely, if you weigh both in terms of understanding of stratification, Weber matters a lot. Okay. So now, how will you give an introduction? You can say about stratification. So social stratification refers to a kind of institutionalized system of social inequality or patterned social inequality or a structural inequality that determines the unequal distribution of rewards, right? That could be in terms of wealth, power, prestige, and life chances. And among the classical sociologists, Marx and Weber provided two most influential explanation of stratification when it comes to capitalist society. On one side, Marx is emphasizing on economic class and exploitation, but Weber expanded the analysis to include class, status, and party. And then you can explain in detail. That's something which we have already discussed. So my point is to explain the demand of the question. Okay, so once that is done, all these that are there in your notes, and you can easily cover this. And it's a 20 marker, a beautiful question. You can score very good because you have enough and more content. Content wise, you don't have any problem. So you talk about Marx contribution, the economic determinism, ownership of means and production determine the class position, and the economic base, the economic infrastructure shapes the politics, law, religion, and everything. That's the superstructure. So he give importance to the economic infrastructure. Then two-class model, bourgeois and proletariat in the capitalist society in general, haves and have-nots, or upper class and lower class. He talk about middle class, but through process of bourgeoisization and proletarianization, either they will go to the upper class or lower class, and the entire process is what he calls as class polarization. Okay, then exploitation, you can say capitalist appropriate the surplus value which is created by the workers. Exploitation is there, profit is based on exploitation and all. Class conflict, you can talk about false consciousness, right? The dominant ideology prevents the workers from recognizing the exploitation, and that maintains that capitalist domination. Then historical materialism. So you can talk about relations of production, forces of production, etc. Right, again, since it is 20 marker only, I have discussed this much dimension. If it is 10 marker, accordingly, you need to manage. Now, Max Weber's contribution, it's a multi-dimensional pattern of stratification where you talk about class, status, and party. And when you talk about class, it's about the market situation, which is again determined by the property, skills, and education, occupation, and income opportunities. You can talk about four classes. And then status, which is based on your lifestyle, religion, education, caste, ethnicity, etc. And then party, that's the political organizations which influence the distribution of power. So the power dimension. Then you talk about life chances. The class determines people's opportunities regarding income, education, access to health, mobility, education, employment, and everything. So that's the life chances according to Weber. And then social closure in terms of professional monopolies, licensing, educational qualification, caste endogamy, occupation, yeah, licensing, etc. Now you can make a comparison. Base, if you see, it's an economic class only. Here, the three dimension. Again, if you see the central concept, it's about means of production. It's a market situation and the life chances for Weber. Number of classes, mainly two, upper class and lower class for Marx, but multiple classes for four classes are for their Weber. And if you look at power, it is basically derived from economic ownership because power is part of superstructure. But here, economic, social, and political, all the three dimensions are equally important. Prestige is secondary for Marx. If you have economic power, automatically prestige and power and everything is there. Here, it is independent of dimension. Even if you are economically not powerful, still you can have a prestige. For example, a college professor or a scholar or a priest, economically not that powerful, but prestige is high. Conflict, according to Marx, is inevitable. Here it is possible, but not inevitable. Then comes social mobility. For Marx, it's limited as only two classes, but here greater scope through education and skills. When it comes to the method, it is economic determinism. It is a multidimensional analysis. Revolution is the inevitable outcome for Marx, but that's not inevitable for Weber. So that's the comparison you can make. Now comes the similarities. So what are the similarities you can talk about? Both have accepted inequality as a structural feature of society and capitalist society. Both have recognized the importance of economic resources. In both, class dimension is there. And both have linked the stratification to unequal life opportunities. And both viewed capitalism as producing inequality. Yes, both emphasized on power through, though it is differently. For Marx also, power is important, but if you are economically powerful, naturally you'll get the other power also. But here, economically powerful doesn't mean that actual political power. Okay. Now the major differences, again, if you see, Marx, economic relation explain most inequalities. Revolution is inevitable. Political power follows economic power. Weber, economic factors alone cannot explain inequality. There are different other dimensions. Status and party independently shape social hierarchy. Power can exist without economic ownership. Now, criticisms. So this is something which is already there in your note. Marx overemphasized on economic factors, ignored the status, culture, and bureaucracy. Revolution has not occurred as predicted. Criticisms of Weber underplays economic exploitation, less emphasis on structural inequalities, and difficult to measure relative importance of class status and party. Now, you can add feminist criticism on both. You can add Pierre Bourdieu on both. You can add functionalist, in fact, on both, right? So that is how you can add. Now, coming to the contemporary relevance, if you look at Marx, corporate concentration of wealth, gig economy exploitation, growing income inequality, capital accumulation. Guys, note down these points because these are useful anywhere also, not only in this particular question. Weber is talking about caste-based prestige despite economic mobility, and then bureaucratic power, political elites, celebrity status in the present scenarios, educational credential that is shaping the life chances. So these are the value addition. You can talk about Pierre Bourdieu, all these four types of capital, Eric Olin Wright, combined Marxist class analysis with Weberian organizational authority. Frank Parkin developed Weber's idea of social closure to explain exclusion and monopolization of opportunities. So these are again value additions which you can bring in here. Now summarize all these and give a proper conclusion to the question which is asked in terms of class, in terms of the difference, and in terms of a balance also, which is more relevant also. So you can say Marx viewed social stratification in capitalist society primarily as a consequence of ownership of the means of production and class exploitation, and there is two classes. But Weber argued that this modern inequality is multidimensional, that is coming out of status, party, and class, three, right? So Marx provides the strongest explanation of the capitalist exploitation if you take, but Weber, in fact, I would say better capture the complexity of contemporary society where wealth is important, prestige is important, education is important, bureaucracy and political power, all these operate independently, right? For Marx, all these are connected with economic infrastructure. So if you combine this, we need to give a balanced conclusion. Together, they remain foundational perspective for understanding social stratification in modern capitalist society. But still, if I want to give some relative importance, I would give it to Weber. Okay, so I hope you got it, and that's about the session. Thank you so much. If you're looking for any classes or mentorship, you can talk to our team, join the session. I'll see you.